Hey, this is Marty Essery.
Hey, this is Ben Hobbs.
I'm Jay Stroud,
and you're listening to the My Peeps Show podcast.
My Peeps. My Peeps. You and me. 1, 2, 3. My Peeps. My Peeps. 1, 2, 3. You and me.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the My Peep Show podcast. I am your host, Anthony, and today I have a singer-songwriter, self-taught pianist, right? Did I say that? Did I say that right? Pianist?
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone is always so hesitant about
I
saying,
know, because we know. All right. The very talented and lovely Farah Elle. Hey, Farah, how are you doing?
I'm great. Hello there. How are you?
I am doing good. I am so thankful that you've taken the time out of your schedule to do this. To kind of set it up, I like to set this up on how I found your music here. I don't want to say found you because it's like I'm the only person that's ever heard Farah. I want to share it with you all. But she's been around, so it's not like I just discovered her or anything. But so like I'm online on YouTube, and I'm always looking for new music and stuff, and so I actually stumbled upon your song Silk, which was like so different than anything I'd ever heard before. It was really amazing and unique and just awesome. And so I'm gonna start right out the gates. Can you talk to me about that song and what that means to you?
Thank you, first of all. That's really, really nice of you to say. So I guess I wrote Silk then when I was 19, and Silk, I think, was a very important song for me to have written for myself. It was happening sort of during a very large growth period. You know, I was making the transition from 19 to 20. And I had just kind of, come to terms with a lot of things in my life and just kind of just about myself really. And when I say in my life, like I know I'm only 22, like, but I mean, it was kind of a big period for me, sort of understanding things about myself, about my identity, about my whole kind of upbringing and the culture clash within my own home as well as just in general everywhere. And I always say this, but I really think that culture clash is the reason for all the problems in the world ever, from your own house to like global issues. And I guess that was sort of me trying to articulate that. But it's really also about the facades and the idea, like the concept of a veil is what I kind of speak about in it. I know that's sort of culturally specific to my background, but really I think everybody has a veil or a facade. So I think I was sort of just speaking about that from my own perspective. And then when people were able to relate to it, that's even better. It's like,
Yeah, wow, that is, you covered half my interview in that answer. What are you doing to me? Well, that's it, everybody. Farah, thanks again for taking the time to do this. No, that was such a great answer, and there are a lot of things that, I do want to ask in that answer that you threw out there. First off, I do want to, let's throw this out there for people. Like, you were born in Libya, correct? And your parents are from Libya. And you moved to Ireland at around 2, was it?
Yeah, it was like 1.5.
Right. Oh, 1.5. Okay, my bad. I'll edit that out. This way I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Two has a better ring to it, like.
And you were talking about that clash, I guess, that culture clash. What was that like growing up with that culture clash? Because you're growing up in Ireland, and and that's one thing I was going to ask you. Is that a big cultural difference between Libya and the Libyan culture and the Irish culture? Because I don't know. I'm over here.
Oh, they're totally, of course they are. Like, but like the funniest thing is, I didn't really notice it like until I was older, and like, of course, I noticed it in little ways. How like obviously I was Muslim and everyone was Christian, so
Hmm.
I didn't go to like school masses or anything like that, um, or like churches or anything. But like in those little ways, that was grand for me. That was just like a bit of free time to do some homework, like or a class for me, like you know. I didn't really think into it. It wasn't really a thing. The only time it really did feel like a thing was in small ways where it might have felt kind of like I felt like I was different in terms of
Yeah.
like I just obviously didn't do the same things as everyone else. My dad was quite strict and I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things, which was really annoying, especially when you're around like everybody who's just doing whatever
Everything. Yeah.
and you have to explain to someone like, "Oh, I can't do that." It's like, "Why?" It's like, "Because I'm not allowed."
Yeah.
And, like it was just like really at times ridiculous. But I went also to like a Libyan Arabic Muslim school on the weekends.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow. So like 7 days a week you were in school?
yeah,
Whoa, that
until I was
sucks.
12. I'm really glad I went because obviously it taught me Arabic and everything. But at the time, I just, God, I really hated it. Like, and you know, kids don't really tend to like school that much anyway. So when
Yeah,
you're made,
school sucks at 5 days a week, much less
yeah,
7 days a week. Because the weekend's kind of what you look forward to, you know? But no, I can even imagine it's one thing to be a 12, 13, or 14-year-old and go through the whole teenage phase, but to go through it also with the cultural issues that you're dealing with because you're at home and then you're at school and then you're at the other school. How is that where I guess music came into play for you as far as like an outlet, like a therapeutic thing?
definitely, absolutely. And it was a form of escapism from everything
Yeah.
because it was the one language that everybody could agree on or speak. And I kind of um had my own little world then, like became very obsessed with different albums and lyricists and yeah, I used music definitely as a form as escapism. Which is great because I could have like gone another direction and been hateful or anything and
Yeah.
I kind of just projected all the energy with the music and especially because like I think the reason why the clash was even hard to uh, like I didn't even have the words to articulate it until I was 19 that I figured out it was a culture clash but
Yeah.
before I just it was like an inside battle really because I love that I can speak Arabic. I love that I was raised Muslim. I know I'm not practicing anymore. I'm not like, you know, I don't really think like don't really sorry, I don't know if you're religious, but I just don't really think religion is very practical in the 21st century and like I'm very relaxed and agnostic, but I love that I was brought up with this different background, you know, and I
Hmm.
appreciate those things now. But yeah, when you're a kid, it's different. So I guess I definitely used music as well because I knew it brought everyone together. And my
Yeah.
happiest memories had music in them. And like, even like my mum used to make these great mixtapes for the cars. And like, oh my God, they were the greatest. Like, everything from like ABBA to like Boney M and like Bad Boys and like it was like the most ridiculous stuff ever, but it was great and I really, really loved it and it brought me so much joy and I just love how people could have a conversation about something like music as well. It's
Yeah.
like it's great. And even my dad, like he actually had a really, really nice singing voice, funnily enough, even though he smoked like 2 packets of cigarettes every day. Like you know, he used to put on sometimes he'd put on Arabic music tapes. Sometimes he'd also put on the Quran. But like I didn't really understand the Quran, but it was really beautiful to listen to, just musically because it would be
Yeah.
sung. And that's how they sing. They sing their prayers, and to me that was a sort of connection to home as well. Because anytime I don't know if you've ever been to a country in the Middle East,
No.
but it's really beautiful. Like the way that the prayer call rings out in the whole city, like the mosques ring out every. It's 5 times a day that it happens.
Hmm.
It's like an alarm clock over the city, but it's the most beautiful alarm clock ever. Like it's just this man's voice singing a prayer and it's like even if you're not religious you can appreciate the beauty of it, you know.
Uh-huh.
I
What?
just remember sometimes, you know, like so like my dad was, even though he was really strict and not kind of the easiest person to deal with. He had a gorgeous singing voice, and I remember him singing along to Arabic tapes in the car, and just kind of not even even being a bit phased by that, because when someone's so like strict and scary, and then
Yeah,
they
you see that other side to them. That
yeah,
yeah,
you
that
side to them exactly,
yeah.
and I was always so aware of it being so nice and great and powerful. Just the idea of music in itself, you know.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely relate to that as far as the musical aspect of it because I know growing up for me, my mom, when we would ride in the car, my mom would always take me and my little brother everywhere, and she would always play like 50s and 60s doo-wop songs and some 70s as well. No ABBA, but I knew who ABBA was and everything. But I remember looking back on that time now, like, because I'll be 40 years old. I know, super old this year. But I remember looking back on that time, looking back on that time, it's just such an amazing memory
Yeah.
because it's like music, even though I never went into music or anything, but music's definitely a big part of, because I used to write comedy videos and yada yada. And music was actually a huge inspiration for the comedy videos. I could hear a song, and even though it had nothing to do with comedy, it would put this thought process in my head of a story, and then where can you go with that story? And you know, you said once, and I don't even know if it's your line, Farah, that you come up with personally, but you said music is a universal language, and I think that's such a good statement because it is. And as far as look, I'll say this too. You know, you said a few minutes ago you didn't know I was a religious person. I am a religious person, but what's the great thing about this interview is like I am a fan of your music, and
Yeah.
you're, yeah, and you're not a religious person, but I am a religious person. But we're here talking, and this is what's so great about this, and what's
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And so, you know, I just can't. I think it's so cool that you look back on those memories with your dad, and you believe me, trust me, as somebody who's, like I said, going to be 40 this year, you're gonna, when you get older, you'll even appreciate those memories even more, which is really cool and stuff. But you know, and I'll say this too. You said a few minutes ago that even though you're only 19 or 20, I completely disagree with the fact that people think that just because somebody's 19 or 20, they haven't experienced life. They have no idea what they're talking about because teenage years, you know, I know from me personally speaking, as you know, I have a full-time job and we pay bills and yada yada. You get in this thinking that, well, you know, my kids don't know what I'm going through or yada yada. That's completely, absolutely false. That they may not know what you're going through with paying bills, but they're going to school and dealing with people that might be picking on them because they're different, or maybe they're
Yeah.
not understanding that school subject and stuff. So, I completely, I think that you can be a writer at 14 and 13 because you started actually writing at 14, right? Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And so, like, was your writing through your experiences as well, or was it more like musically inspired and you'd hear a song go, oh, that's pretty cool? Or was it kind of a mixture of both?
Well, I was writing piano music when I was 12, but I didn't start writing songs like lyrics until I was 14. And then um, I guess it was just like I wrote poems, and then I realized if you sing a poem, that's lyrics.
Yeah.
So that was kind of. Uh, sorry, did you ask me how it started?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like it was around 14 or
Yeah, it was around
13, 12.
14, like, and it was like really just therapeutic for me,
Yeah.
and I was just sort of always observing. As much of an extrovert I am, like I'm always really observing things as well, and I would, I suppose, be able to articulate those observations through
Hmm.
songwriting, which is very important for me because I needed
Yeah.
that, and because also music was a form of escapism for me. Um, there was such a freedom to it as well,
Yeah.
and I couldn't say find release in other things like religion or anything like,
Yeah.
because there was a clash there for me, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
So this was where the freedom was for me,
Wow.
and like don't get me wrong, like I'm a very spiritual person,
Hmm.
but I think the creativity end of things for me was just I just loved. It's so funny. Or even I used to write essays and everything in school about like the power of creativity and the importance of it. But I think it also, even now, like even people who aren't musicians or artists or anything, like I think even just to do it for fun for yourself is the most important thing, because it really does like ignite your inner child and gives you a chance to just be free, and you're not, and there's very few things that we just do for ourselves,
Yeah, very true. Great point. Very great point. Okay, so I have to ask, when you started to learn the piano, what was that? What was the interest in the piano? How did that, why did that instrument stick out to you the most?
Well, we had a little toy keyboard, and it was like
Mm.
a little kid's
Yeah.
keyboard.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The first one we ever had in the house, I think it only had like, I don't know, 12 keys on it. Like, it really was not a proper keyboard. And I'd be trying to play it, like, trying to like play like Moonlight Sonata on it. Like, it really wasn't coming together for me. So my mum took me to Smith's, which is a toy store over here. And she bought me like a Yamaha PSR 175 like keyboard with the DJ setting. Like, oh my god, I love that keyboard, and I used to just play on that all the time. And like I was like remixing classical tunes, like putting beats on them.
Oh, nice.
It was the greatest thing ever. And then when I was 12, she brought me shopping for my real piano, which is my like I think it's just the greatest piano in the world. I'm actually going to turn the camera so you can see it. Can
Oh,
you
cool.
see?
I get to see it. Nobody else does. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
You can't even really see it, but
Yeah, I
it's
can see it. No, you're good. I can actually see it. That's
like the greatest, most loyal piano ever, and I've had it for like more than 10 years now, and it just sounds like heaven. Like I have no idea what's going on in that piano. It's like some kind of like happy ghost that's just like some spirit in it. I swear to God, I genuinely believe there's something going on in that piano. Like
Do
it's
not move that piano. You will throw everything off. You always have to keep it there. Don't kill the
you know,
mojo.
I did change the room around about 6 months ago. This room that like this is sort of my space.
Yeah.
The piano was on the other side of the room, and we did wheel it over. And I had to get a tune straight away. Yeah, you're not supposed to move them. Yeah.
Okay, so, I wanted to also talk to you about, I watched, after I listened to Silk, which I loved, I could go through like a list of all these songs that, and I know I'm not going to pronounce this right, but I'm going to try it anyways. But Rajeen, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. I love the piano in that. The beginning is so amazing and so cool. And there's another one, Bang Bang.
Oh,
Can
yeah,
you,
the cover.
yeah, can you see? I've never even heard that song before, and see, this is how unskilled I am in music, I guess. So, but you did such a great job of it. Now I'm gonna have to go listen to the original, but I'm gonna be biased.
Oh no, you got it. You're gonna love the original as well. It's timeless.
But and then obviously, let's see, I got Curfew. I liked Curfew as well. That is, don't say that's a cover because I'm gonna feel like crap.
No, that's not a cover. The
Okay,
only
good.
line is Bang Bang.
Okay, good, 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 good. Because I like Holiday also. I
Oh,
told
thank
you, I'm
you.
fanboying out on you.
Oh, that's okay. No, thank you very much.
Okay, so I wanted to talk to you because the videos that I'd seen on YouTube was in I believe it was the Hear One YouTube series channel, and also the Songs from a Room, the So Far. What is that like, being in a room with all that small, it seems like a small room, but all those people, all eyes are on you, and like, it's just you, and your keyboard there. What is that like? Do you relish that moment? Or are you kind of more nervous about it, or what?
The funniest thing is, like, well, I always get nervous before gigs. Doesn't matter how many gigs I've done, I still get nervous. Like, the funniest thing is, like, when you're up there and you're singing, like, yeah, you completely, like, you immerse yourself in it, and you don't feel, sometimes you don't feel like anyone, like, to be honest, it'd be more distracting if like, if the crowd were up there with me. Like, I like singing to a crowd.
Oh, okay.
I like being able to look people in the eye and look around the
Oh,
room.
I was going to ask you that question. Do you like to make eye contact, or do you kind of
Yeah.
just go in a zone?
No, I actually really like making eye contact. In fact, I really don't like focusing on a spot on the back of the room or anything. Like,
Oh, wow.
I really prefer to interact with everyone because I want everyone to know that I'm singing to them. Then, as well as that, I mean, kind of, it's funny. Like, you could be up there but you're also so observant of the room. Like I'm in perfect view of everyone in the room. I don't think crowds realize that, right? Like I've noticed everything that's going on in the room. Just because I'm playing and performing doesn't mean that like I didn't notice something in the corner. Like
Can that be distracting though? Like, cause you're singing this great song that you get, it's putting your heart out there, and then you see somebody, picking their nose or something. Is it like, is that distracting to you, or do you kind of like, oh, it's just.
I just tend to laugh. Like it's so funny. It's great as well when someone notices that you're looking at them, that they're aware of something. They're like, "Oh my God, she totally knows what's going on right now." Like, and like I'd always laugh at people or talk with them or whatever. Like I don't ignore what's going on in the room. But then when I am really immersed in something and I kind of really need to focus on it, I do sometimes try to ignore what's going on. Or sometimes I just wait. Like if there's a really quiet part in the song, there's just a moment where things need to calm down for a minute. I'll just wait for that to happen and then I'll go for
Wow.
it. It's nice though, like because crowd, like the nicest thing about a crowd is they're there for you, and I really always appreciate that. It doesn't matter if there's one person there or a million people there.
Yeah.
It's really really nice that anyone would want to come and hear me,
Yeah.
and hear what I have to say or whatever. So might as well, give it everything.
Okay, well, yeah, that leads me to another question because I asked this of a musician I interviewed recently, and I wanted to get different. I want to get varying opinions on this because it may all be the same, but it could be different. My question is, like, when you're up there singing your songs, that you wrote, is your heart into it every time you sing that song? Are you back to that kind of moment where you wrote it? Or is it kind of a memorization thing where like, okay, I'm performing the song, I sing the song, it's over? Or is it kind of depend on what kind of day you're having or what?
It's actually funny. Some days you're really in the mood to play certain songs, and like there'd be days where it's like I won't play that one today, or like, or we'll play this one, and then you find yourself, because like I've played them so many times, like I completely know what, like, as in it's nearly muscle memory when I'm playing,
Hmm.
but um like I can't just play them. I have to really play them from the heart. Otherwise, it's like, why play them,
Yeah.
Um, with that, like, there's days, it really depends on my mood. Like, for example, some days I will start playing a song and then I won't even realize until I like get to the chorus that I really feel like that today.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it's funny because then I think that's what makes me perform them, because
Yeah.
I do really care. Obviously, some days I'll play one song and I'll be like, this is what I feel like today, and that's
Yeah.
what it's like, a really kind of a different performance that day or whatever,
That's great.
Then there's some sort of moments where, yeah, it's different every time. Actually, it's just different every time.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I kind of thought. Okay. So, when you go from an environment to like a song from a room where it's just a room full of people, or do you like something like that, or do you like being on the stage with hundreds of people, or 100 or 150, or do you kind of like both of them as long as you're getting to perform, basically?
I like both of them as long as it feels like people really are kind of listening,
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're not either. This is the thing. Like, if I, like, there's some settings where you can't expect people to drop everything and watch you and listen, but it's obviously
Yeah.
nice when people do listen.
Yeah.
Um, but like I've played pub gigs where you're essentially just background music, which is fine as well because you're really contributing. You're still contributing to the atmosphere in the room.
Yeah.
Um, I actually, funnily enough, I really love sit down gigs. A lot of people really don't like sit down gigs, but I don't mind them at all. I really like being on stage and everyone sitting down and relaxing and listening. And then I also obviously really love it when people dance and everything, like, but like sometimes people just want to sit and chill and listen, and that's really
Yeah.
nice as well.
Yeah.
Um, I like big crowds. I also love little crowds. I don't really have a preference. As I said, any crowd is appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That makes total sense. Okay. So, all right. So you're getting a little older here. You're 19, 18, whatever, and you decide to do the school, the BIM, right? Am I pronouncing that right? BIM?
Yeah, I am the Institute of Modern Music.
Thank you. That's it. What was that like? Were you nervous going to that or what?
I was just really excited. So I was like very young when I finished school. I was like 17 going
Oh
into
yeah, yeah. I was 17 when I graduated too. So
yeah. So I went in and uh, it was great when I even discovered the course existed because like I really wasn't the type to be able to just go and do like geography in college. You know, I kind
yeah,
of it wasn't I wasn't the greatest at just like memorizing things
hmm
or academic information and like I was grand, like I did well in my exams and everything, but I kind of really just needed to do something creative.
yeah.
And when I discovered because the course was really new when I started. Like when I went in, I was the second year ever to do the course, and
Whoa.
so it was really exciting to sort of see what that was going to be like. And the fact that you could do songwriting in college was just the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, that's great! You can do that now, you know.
That's so awesome.
So,
Was it competitive? Was it as competitive? Because I would think all those different personalities with all those different creative people, I got to imagine that it's got to be pretty competitive.
oh, totally. Yeah. I wouldn't even say competitive because right. The funniest thing about me is like, I could probably do with getting more competitive. I'm like the least competitive person ever. Like, if I'm in a competition with someone, I'm like cheering them on. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I actually really, I'm not good at being competitive. So I think for some people, if they're competitive, that's like their own thing, really.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
but like one thing I gotta say though is like there's a lot of favoritism in colleges like that, in arts, anything like that. And I really since I was a kid really didn't like clicky
Oh
behavior.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Understand that.
or
It's just as prevalent over here, trust me, in schools.
yeah,
It's a worldwide thing, I guess.
yeah. So I would really kind of push myself away from those type of things. But like I am at the same time not wanting to disrespect anyone, but I just really didn't want to get caught up in any of the politics
hmm
there. Um because like there it's there anyway in
Yeah.
every place. So for me the focus was just more on studying what I really wanted to do and kind of just really enjoying it and just remaining creative.
Yeah.
Um and getting like my language across and doing it the way that I do it. You know, didn't worry about doing it like anybody else. I just wanted to keep developing my own sound and
Yeah.
learning more about myself as an artist, because when you are around so many big characters like that and so many big egos and your own ego as well, we all have one, and
Right.
you just sort of it was a big learning process, I think. Also, it was just time to grow, really. Like I was so not a kid anymore by the time I got to college. I was just kind of ready to be in these new surroundings and meet new people, really.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great. Do you remember like your first solo gig that you did? Was it around that time you were going to school, or was it younger? Did you do stuff when you were younger?
Younger, yeah, I've actually been playing music for a really long time. Like I probably had my first gig when I was like 14. Like uh,
Wow.
that was another big difference actually, yeah, because a lot of the people there had never done any gigs or anything before. But it's a different environment completely. Like it is scary and competitive in terms of when you're performing in front of all your, because there's college gigs and stuff that people would audition for. Well, no, because actually, I kind of veered more towards the people that we were all quite
That's good.
as long as we were quite supportive to each other, and
That's
they're the
good.
friends that I really kept, and they were the people that really stood out for me. Like the kind of people that were generally really sound to everybody were the ones that I liked the most, you know,
That's good.
and I really like that about people. I think that's why I got on with most people in there because I didn't see any reason not to, like you know,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I mean, and that's the whole point is you're there all to get better, not to
yeah.
tear anybody down. That's not the point of the
To help each
school.
other up, if anything, you know,
Yeah.
because like there's so many, oh my God, so many emotions as well in a place like that,
I couldn't even imagine.
like including my own, I'm crazy, like so. But no, like it was cool, it was really nice. But for me, the concept of gigging with a band was totally new.
Yeah.
Like I was so actually really like really new because
So it's just
I
always you and your keyboard, basically, when you're.
yeah, and I was always in control of everything, right? So I think I'm a bit of a like little bit of a control freak, like, and like for me, the idea of playing with a band was like, oh my God, like I have to play in rhythm with these people, like you know what I mean? Like they're actually making me realize that I'm not as good as I thought I was, and that's really aggravating for me.
Right. So it was a very humbling experience for you.
Great, actually. But other people thought that it was easier to play with a band because they have a band backing them up. I was the complete opposite. I had to really learn how to play with a band, which was the greatest fun ever, though, because it was like a dream come true for me. It was like everything that I visioned while playing the piano. Because when I'm playing the piano, I try to compensate for all the ideas that I have. So that's rhythm, bass, guitar, melodies. I don't even have a guitarist, but you know what I mean? All those frequencies, right?
Uh-huh.
So all those layers. So when I'm playing the piano, if I'm playing a solo show, the piano's a lot more busy. But when I'm playing in the band, I can focus more on my vocal and just do the basic key parts and play away when I want to. But they're doing great. Like they're really getting the songs across for me and like with great power. So for me, hearing those visions come into actual other instruments was actually really quite emotional and like really, really great for me to experience because before that it was just me and my piano and I always visioned it as so much more than me and my piano.
Yeah.
And so it was really, really great. And even now, like if I bring a new song to the band and like they then play it and they're absolutely amazing, so they kill it. And then I like the last time I brought a new song to them, I started crying afterwards because I was like, "You guys are so amazing."
That's great.
I was like, how did you know what my brain wanted? Like, they're magicians, like, just the most incredible musicians I
I love
know.
you guys so much. That's so great.
Oh my God.
All right, how about the musical influences? What were you mentioned that when you were younger, you probably heard all kinds of different songs, but what were some of the musical influences that stood out to you?
So the first song I ever heard that really got in
Okay.
my soul was
Okay.
Natural Blues by Moby.
Yeah, okay.
And like I just remember hearing that and I remember the exact moment and everything and like one single tear down the face. And I
That's awesome.
loved that album. I was about 11 or 12 when I discovered Moby and then I was really huge fan of System of a Down.
Hmm.
So basically, whatever my siblings were listening to, I listened to. So they were listening to a lot of like my sister loved the Smashing Pumpkins, and my brother loved System of a Down and Tool. My other brother loved like a lot of hip hop, so underground hip hop, a lot of American hip hop actually. But it's very like Tribe Called Quest and
Yep.
Tone Deaf and kind of Sage Francis, kind of undergroundy and really poetic.
Hmm.
Um, so I used to really pay attention to lyrics all the time. I couldn't listen to something with bad lyrics. Like, I just kind of think it's such a huge part of the song. Like, I know the lyrics don't particularly need to be moving, but I just think they're really cool when they're getting a message across, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Does it have to have a statement, basically?
Well, I just think that like words are so great and
Hmm.
interesting that you might as well use cool ones, you know? Have to say like really deep, meaningful things all the time. It's even a
Yeah.
great hook, like, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't mean like statement like every single song has to solve the world's issues, but I
Yeah.
guess that there has to be something from that person that's in it. You know what I mean? Like they wrote it. They're. I guess I'm not a musician. What's that?
Just something
Yeah,
interesting.
there you go. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Something interesting. Okay, so is it hard to be a musician to try to find your own sound? Because I mean, there's been so many sounds over all the years, or do you not even think about it? Do you just kind of look? This is kind of like what I do, and this is how I like to write, and this is how I like to play. This is my sound. Or do you consciously think, oh, that kind of sounds like this, and I don't really want to go that direction? Are you conscious of those things?
No, I just kind of write the way that I write and sing the way that I sing and try to express it as much as possible. But I never feel like I don't feel like I'm ever gonna stop growing. And I hope I never stop growing and learning because I'm constantly getting to know my sound. Like, I still feel like it's not fully there yet, if I'm completely honest. Like, I know that I have a certain way that I seem to sing that I actually really wasn't ever aware of until Silk and everyone started saying it. Before that, I actually just kind of thought I had a weird singing voice. I was like, why do I sound weird? Like, I was like, I always thought it was really weird when I'd hear myself sing. I just kind of was like very overly aware of voice sounded and didn't really quite understand it. And then I was just like, okay, I'm just going to celebrate that instead. And then, like, even now though, still, like, the whole thing about getting to know my sound is very important because I'm still very young. Like, I'm still growing as an artist completely, never want to stop. And then also just when it comes to like recording and stuff, you realize how much you want to try and get it across.
Yeah.
In a recording, and that's actually quite hard sometimes because I know I love live element, but then I know I love hip hop production. Like, I really love hip hop production. But like, I don't use any synths. I don't use any electronic instruments in my music. It's all very raw. Like, it's a piano, a bass guitar, and drums. That's all that goes on everything. So
Yeah.
I'm sort of like, okay, how do you make this modern? Like, you know.
Well, that's what I think that's what attracted me to your music was especially the songs that were just you and your piano. I mean, my personal favorite is the Rajeen. I just think to me after listening to all the other songs, I just feel like that song is captures your talent.
Swear to God, you would love that so much with the band. Like, if you think that's good with the piano, it's just crazy with the band. Like, they're just so good. It becomes like, I don't know, they're just so great. Like, I think the rhythm section from heaven, that's what I always call them. But,
Well, it's my favorite song. I just feel like I think it's so amazing to me. It's such a talent. It's for whether you're playing guitar and singing or playing the piano, because you have to have a certain amount of ambidextrity, or blah, 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 you know that word, where you got to do your left and right hand, and then like you're using the other part of the brain where you're singing as well, and that just takes such talent. Was that difficult to hone at first?
yeah, I remember when I was like 14 or 15, and it was like block chords, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm playing block chords. I want to add a bass in. Like, I want to play the bass part with my left hand. So how am I going to do this? And I just remember doing it very slowly, and then that's how you practice. Like, you just do it really slow. You nearly do it in slow-mo, like, and then it kind of works its way into being doable.
Yeah.
And but lucky for me though, I had a good ear, but that kind of stopped me from learning theory. That's why I ended up teaching myself the piano, because I really actually didn't believe in lessons. I thought that it made what I love doing feel like homework, and I really didn't like homework. Like, I just really didn't like doing homework sometimes. And
No, completely understand that. Yes.
so to me, it was like kind of taking away from this freedom. It felt like it got in my way sometimes, especially because when I tried to do lessons, I went for two lessons actually. And when I went to the first lesson, the teacher thought that I couldn't, like, she wasn't aware of the fact that I had really developed my ear and I was actually really able to play quite fluidly. So she was making me do all the Mary Had a Little Lamb stuff and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it was very frustrating for me.
Oh gosh.
I remember then playing for her, and she was like, oh shit, okay, I didn't realize you can play so good. But then she was like, but you've got your ear developed now. So she was like unable to teach me properly because she wasn't able to play anything for me, because I would just ignore what was written on the pieces of paper and just pick it up by ear and follow it with my hand rather than follow what was on the page.
Yeah.
So she was like, right, like, you're a bit of a pain in the arse, like. And I was like, yeah, well, I don't like these either, so. But no, but like, the only problem there is I really that made me hate theory, and it would be great to have great music theory, because then I could just read piano music, but I can't really read music that well at all because of that. But it means I have a good ear, so
Yeah, that's
yes,
true.
when it meant for learning songs, I would just pick them up by ear, which is kind of how everyone does them anyway, you know? And I know what the notes on the piano are, like, so it's grand.
But no, another question I wanted to ask here, because in just a second, I'm going to put you through the questions of torture and awesomeness. You don't know about this,
Oh,
but
okay.
my last question I wanted to ask you is, as a songwriter and you hit a wall, when you hit a creative wall, how do you handle it? How do you push through it? Do you just make yourself write, or do you just need to take a break and go, okay, I just need a break from it?
Yeah, so I actually wrote one of my college thesis essays on how to handle and cure writer's block.
Wow.
Because I went through a big writer's block and I thought it was writer's block. And actually, the whole general conclusion is writer's block does not exist, Anthony. It is a lie, right?
What is
Okay.
this black magic you're talking about?
Basically, what I'm saying is like you think it's there, you think it's a block, but actually, you need to change that mentality and realize it's not a block. I will get back to doing what I'm doing. It's like a time period where essentially it's brewing. I'm still
Ah.
observing things and it will come out. You have to believe in the fact that it will come out.
That's next level,
Um,
Farah. That's next level stuff right there. Good thinking.
you have to believe that it will come out because you're giving yourself writer's block if you say, oh no, it's a block. Nothing's going to come. It's
That's
gone
so
forever.
true. That's
You know.
so true.
And
Wow.
And really, what really helps with it is actually keeping organized. And by keeping organized, I mean like clearing your desk. If you're having a time where you're not really being creative, then organize your sheets, organize
Yeah.
your files, do up your creative space, make it a nice place to be in.
Yeah.
And that way, it's very inviting. So that way, actually, you sort of see the room. And you're like, oh, I want to hang out in here. This is like, I want to do my thing here. This
Yeah.
is grand. This is fine. And you're less afraid and less scared to approach it then because you've already sort of created a space for you to make what you need to make, even if
Yeah.
you're not making it at that moment. At least you're being productive towards your creativity. You're sort of looking after it, and you have to nurture it. Like you have to nurture it. You
Wow.
know. And
That's some of the most intelligent stuff I've ever heard on here. That's really good. I never thought of it as no, you're basically putting the block on yourself, correct?
if you just say it's a writer's block and I can't write right now, there's other things you can do that aren't writing that help you write, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true. Great point. Great point. Wow. What is this knowledge she's bringing to the table? It's awesome. That's great stuff. Okay, the questions of torture and awesomeness. Yeah, so now you can pass on any time. You don't have to answer every single question, but they're not bad. They're just random questions. Okay, so are you ready for the questions of torture and awesomeness?
Already.
Okay. Question number one, sunny day or rainy day?
Sunny day, obviously.
Well, not always. I love rainy days. Don't say
But
obviously.
if you were from Ireland and you would see enough rainy days for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm finding this out because I've interviewed two different people from England, and it's just well, the way they talk, it's just nothing but rain there, and that's crazy to me.
So much rain.
Oh, gosh. Okay, question number two, do you snore?
I don't think so. It depends. Like, I don't snore when I'm lying down in like a proper position, but I reckon if anyone passed out in like a weird way where you're like, you know, I I don't think I do snore. I think I've snored like 3 times ever before.
Okay, if you've snored at least once, then you snore all the time. That's just the
My
way that it
cats
is.
snore, funnily enough. My cats snore. That's how I know if they're in my room under the bed because I can hear like this creepy little cat snore. Like,
That's great. Okay, something you've always wanted to do but never have.
like parachute,
Oh, skydiving.
skydiving, like paragliding, whatever it's all called. I would love. I
Jumping
like
out of a plane, basically, at some
my
point.
my dream is to be able to fly. Like I swear, like I had a dream before, and I think I was so young when I had this dream. I was probably about 14, like, and I just like since the dream, and it was the realest thing ever. I know how it feels to fly, Anthony. It feels great, like. It was the greatest feeling ever. Did you ever watch Hancock, that movie with Will Smith, and he's a super
Yes.
right? You know the way he flies, where he just kind of like slams on the ground and then just goes up into the air, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
on his control, and no wings getting in your way or anything. You're just able to fly.
Right.
Like that's how I was flying. I was just soaring through the gaff, and it was so great. Like,
Fair.
oh,
Have there been any drugs in your life that we need to?
I know, 14, man. What the hell?
I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. Okay. Next question: city, country, or beach? Which one do you prefer?
I love the beach. It's my favorite place in the world.
Oh, that's 2 beaches in a row. I've had like 7 or 8 countries in a row, and now I've got 2 beaches in a row. So the beaches are on a roll. Okay. Clowns, yes or no?
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent to clowns. Like they make me a little bit uncomfortable because I don't quite understand. You know, I don't understand. And then and then like I'm also like that's cool. Like you can do your thing over there, and I'm gonna hang out over
Yeah,
here.
make make kids happy over there.
I just they don't like they don't particularly scare me or anything, but I just you know
You're just
I'm
not
yes.
comfortable. It's a comfortableness. I get that. That makes
They're
sense.
okay. They're grand, like you know.
Quit trying to recover. The Clown Academy will not be contacting you now.
Yeah, I don't want to upset anyone. Like,
Issue an apology on Facebook for all clowns everywhere.
I swear to God, it's just like, yeah, sorry. But I'm just faced by the clown from Modern Family. I don't know if you watch that TV show, but
I've seen episodes here and there, but it's a funny show. I've not seen the clown one, so
it's actually great. It's so great. Basically, anyway, I could talk about it, but that's ridiculous. We don't need to talk about Modern Family right now.
but no, okay. Sing in the shower or car or both or neither.
Both.
Both. Okay.
Oh wait, sorry, are you asking if I do?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I actually
You don't
don't.
sing anywhere. You don't sing anywhere. Just on
I,
stage and in front of people in rooms.
if I'm in the car and like, you know, see, I don't drive yet, by the way. I'm learning how to drive very soon, okay?
Okay. Well, have you sung in the car with other people?
Yes, I love
Okay.
that. I love
See?
blaring music in the car.
There you go. Sing in the car. That counts. So, okay. How many tattoos, if any?
One.
One. Okay. What is it? Am I allowed to ask that?
Yes, it's right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, gotcha, right there. And
That
folks, trust me, everything it was
on my
not
back.
bad.
So it's between my shoulder blades. It is kind of like a stamp. Like it's not a stamp. I just feel like it's
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 just a stamp. Somebody come up in there and she
actually
still yet
I
she can't reach it to wash it.
I actually just drew it on before this Skype interview because I wanted to seem like I was really cool and edgy.
I want to seem real edgy for having a tattoo. So. Okay, hidden talent.
Basically, it's an F in Arabic. Sorry, I'm still telling you about my tattoo.
No, we're not talking about stamps anymore. We're not talking about pre-interview stamps.
Oh
It's an
my
F, really? It's an F in Arabic.
It's an F in Arabic because my mum's name starts with F, my sister's name starts with F, and the
Ah.
letter F in general holds greatness with me. I just think it's so strong, like, and it's obviously not F for Farah because I know my name starts with F. Like,
Just in
that's a
case you forgot one night.
function of it. Like, my sister and I went for tattoos together, so it's like a sister
Oh,
tattoo.
wow. That's awesome that you guys did that. Sweet.
Yeah, great bonding time.
Yeah, cool. Okay, hidden talent. Do you have any hidden talents?
Yes, spelling.
You're a good speller. I'm a good speller. Like
Really.
5th grade runner up to first. I mean, that doesn't sound like much, but I'm pretty proud of that. Or maybe it was 6th grade. I don't know. I can't remember.
That is cool. That is cool because I have this weird thing where, like, if someone says a word that I've never heard of before, like, I mightn't know what the word means or ever really knew anything about it, but I could know how to spell it. Like,
Okay, extravaganza. Go.
that's so easy. Okay, EXTORAVAGANZA.
See, you're looking at a poster on the wall that says
No,
extravaganza. You should have seen her eyes, guys. It was like
what?
EX. She's trying to look in the shade T.
I can't believe I was actually really eager to defend myself there. That's how touchy I am about my spelling talent. Like, I don't want anyone saying anything bad
Don't
about
ever challenge Farah and her spelling talents. Duly noted. If you get anything from this podcast, remember that, people. Okay, first celebrity crush.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay. All right, Jake. One place you've always wanted to visit.
Jamaica.
Ah, Jamaica. Good answer. Okay, snakes, yes or no?
Snakes.
Yes.
What do you mean? Yes or no?
Do you like them? Get the Clown Academy and Snake Institution mad at you now. Please just say it. I hate snakes. I do. I hate them.
I don't like snakes. I've never really seen a snake before.
What? No. In
We don't
person?
have over here. St. Patrick got rid of them all.
Brilliant. That is so brilliant. That is the best line in the entire podcast. Okay. You're stuck in a room for 1 week and you only get one album to listen to. What is it?
Oh, okay. At the moment, definitely, I'm really obsessed with this girl who I've only recently discovered, and I think she's actually incredible and a great voice for our generation. And her stage name is No Name. Okay, she's from Chicago.
No Name?
Look, don't diss her. Okay, so she.
No, I wasn't. What are you doing? I wasn't just...
I saw your face when you said No Name, like. So.
Hey, you have to understand that's a little surprising.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, okay. So I think it's like I don't know what it is. So basically her real name though, funnily enough, is my mum's name. It's Fatima.
Really?
And, yeah, telling me the F names, and like she's really cool, and her band are incredible, and she has a Tiny Desk concert which I listen to every single day. Actually gets me up in the mornings. Like, it's such a great album. The album's called Telephone, and her original stage name was No Name Gypsy, and she changed it to just No Name because of the whole cultural inappropriation thing. Like, she was like, why am I calling myself a gypsy? I'm not a gypsy. But she's pretty cool. Like, really, really cool. I could listen to that album. No Name Telephone is the album.
No Name Telephone. I actually will check that out. If you recommend it.
Tiny Desk. Yeah, check out her Tiny Desk concert. She's hugely influenced by like Nina Simone and everyone, and she's just great.
Okay. See, I trust you. I wasn't hating.
Defensive I got there. Sorry for getting really defensive.
Note to self: spelling or no name. Farah will make you pay. Okay, dream collaboration partner.
Oh, Lupe Fiasco.
Okay, good one. Okay, favorite word.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm really. I know there's a favorite word, and it's kind of.
It's going to hit you after we get finished with the podcast.
Yeah, I could just give you like a replacement one.
Okay, I'll take one. I'll take a replacement. I won't force this question upon you.
Oh, I really want to think about this a bit more before I just give you a word. But like we don't have 2 hours. Like.
No. Okay, I tell you what. Let's come back to it. We got a few more, and this give you a little time to think about it. Deal?
Okay, cool.
Okay, now I'm gonna make it really hard on you. Least favorite word.
Least favorite word.
Least favorite word.
I don't really like the word rut.
Rut.
Rut, like R-U-T.
Right. I'm using my horrible English, so rut.
I don't like runt either.
Runt? R-U-N-T?
Yeah.
See, like I spelled that, I was like, boom, R-U-N-T. I'm defending myself as well to show you my skills. Okay, and don't forget favorite word. Okay, hiking, yes or no?
I've only really hiked. I hiked in Beacon in New York, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I was in your country before.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah, went for a hike in Beacon, and I was very warm. I just kind of thought, God, it's sweaty business, and it was great. It was like nice being able to walk. Yeah, I'm going to say yes to hiking.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not an experienced hiker, but I love going for walks.
Okay. Peace and quiet, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Exercising, yes or no?
Yeah, I don't like the only exercise I really ever get is like dancing or like cycling.
Okay.
I don't
Favorite.
do gyms. I've never been to a gym. I don't understand gyms.
So no. So no. I would agree with that. No. I'm not an exercising person either. Okay, favorite food.
I like yoga though. Favorite food. Oh, I have this thing with like very specific tropical fruit that actually makes me feel like I'm like everything about them, like texture of mangoes.
Mangoes. Okay.
I am obsessed with mangoes now. I'm talking about a very specific type of mango, right?
I'm sorry. I just assumed all mangoes.
No,
And
I
yeah.
feel really bad for the West because they don't actually know what good mangoes are like. I
That's the
swear.
only reason you feel bad for the West is because the whole mango thing.
I'm telling you, the Middle East know what a good mango is. Okay, so basically mangoes and there's three. There's mangoes, watermelons, and
Oh,
avocados.
I love watermelons.
And raspberries. I could eat a whole punnet of raspberries in about 3 seconds. And so that's like my fruit. I guess I love those type of fruit.
Okay.
Favorite food. I love carvery. Like that's the most Irish thing I could ever say. But like, no, but I gotta be honest though. Libyan food is the best I've ever had. Like my mum's cooking is incredible. Like, oh, the Arabs know how to cook, and like halal meat. I would have always grown up eating Muslim, like obviously Muslims eat halal meat, and we still get halal meat, and it's just really clean. It's just really really clean, and it does really taste quite nice. I think it kind of tastes a little bit different.
Oh wow, never even heard of it. Let's see. Afraid of the dark?
I think a little bit sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now this is kind of a weird question. Because okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask it. Which word do you use more? The word fart or poot?
Ew, who uses poot?
It's actually, you're not the first person to ask this because the English musician who I interviewed recently, he had never heard of the word poot, and it's actually a kiddie version of the word fart. So it's kind of like you kind of bring it down to the level of like, oh, did you poot? Oh, somebody just pooted. Three things you can't live without.
Fresh air. Wait, is that sorry? Did that sound sarcastic? I really meant like I don't like
It
city
sounded
air.
sarcastic. I thought, okay, she's messing with me. Like
Oh, I'm so
fresh
sorry.
air, obviously, human.
I actually genuinely meant that as in really clean air. I don't like city air.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No, 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 makes sense.
Yeah. But okay, so that's like let's say that one doesn't count then, right? Three things I can't live without. Pen and paper. That's one, right?
One with a substitute for fresh air, just in case. We've got
Okay.
him over here.
The second thing that I can't live without, music, obviously.
Oh, two. One more.
It was pen and paper, music,
Music.
and nature. Like, yeah, I
That's
can't.
that's that's good. That's a
That was,
good one.
that was a really good one. I'm just gonna give myself a little pat on the back.
Be careful to wipe. Don't wipe that elf off back there, 'cause I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. Two proudest moments.
How honest can I be here? Like,
Well, bring it.
two proudest moments.
But remember, this is gonna be out there forever, so be quite aware of your honesty.
Two proudest moments. One of them was a really great gig we had in at a festival in Knockansocken, and like disasters struck, but we absolutely annihilated the gig. Like it was so great. Like the
Oh.
the crowd were incredible. Like they all stood up, and I was like totally crying. Like
Oh, wow.
it was the greatest ever. That was like a really really great moment.
Wow, wow, that's
Um,
cool.
and then another great proud moment I think was when I played Silk for the first time.
Oh, nice. Good. Great answers. I like both of them. That's good stuff. Okay, one word to describe you.
Honest.
Good. All right, now favorite word. This is the
Oh
last
yeah.
one.
I really lately I've been digging the word rejuvenation or no, rejuvenated.
Rejuvenated. Ooh, that's a good one. That rolls off the tongue. Rejuvenated.
Yeah, I love the way it's spelled. I love where the A is placed.
No, listen, I want to thank you so much for doing this. I know it's late over there in Ireland, and you worked with me on this, and I'm so thankful we got the opportunity to do this. This has been great. Have you had fun?
I've had loads of fun. Thanks very much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, before I let you go, I also want to give a heads up for everybody out there. Make sure you check Farah out on her Facebook fan page. Just so you know, also it's Farah. I'm not spelling this to be, the host spelling thing. And it's Farah, Farahllelle. So make sure you go check out her Facebook fan page. You can also find her on SoundCloud. I believe that's Farah Elle Music, correct? Or is it
Yeah.
just okay, Farah Elle Music. She's also on Twitter at Farah Elle Music and Instagram at Farah Elle. Is there anything you wanted to throw in there before we say bye?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. And this has been absolutely great crack. And yeah, I had a total laugh. Thanks very much.
That's good. Hey, honestly, I started this just to get to know people. Originally, it was for my family and friends and my sons. It's something that I hope someday my two little boys, I say little, but they're actually, they're older. They're like 14 and 12. They'll be 12 this year. But it's something that I hope they go back and listen to one day, and they learn about my family and friends, but they also learn about people who intrigued me, and you're definitely one of those people, and I'm so thankful you took the time to do this, and I wish you nothing but great success, and I'm going to be following you and keeping up with your career, so.
Oh, thank you. That's really, really nice. Thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely, and again, Farah, thank you so much for doing this, and I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah.
This is the exit music for the My Peeps show. This is the exit music for the My Peeps show. This is the part where they put all the boring stuff, like who produced it, wrote it and such. This is the exit music for the My Peeps show. This is the exit music. Why are you even still here looking at this stuff? For the My Peeps show.